Cody, all right, I got your treasure hunt app up, or your process book up right here. Let's go take a look. Okay, so you got your cover, and then we go from the cover right to the problem. I would recommend an opening page right after the cover and call it statement of intent. So in other words, that's just a page that kind of describes what you're trying to accomplish with this project, okay? So you go from statement of intent to the problem, define the problem, go straight to the solution. Good job. That's a low resolution image right there. You see that pixelization? I don't recommend using that image. Okay, so from from solution, you go to features and functions. That's good. I would describe each one of these. Just give a sentence or two describing each of the features and functions. Then you go to target audience. So the target audience should be defined a little bit more clearly than that. And I would not put personas in with target audience. I would say the target audience should be its own separate page, really giving a detailed analysis of the target. Then you go into personas. So the personas, I would recommend putting one persona on each page. For the personas, you can include their name, their age, their profession, their hobbies, their habits. Let me see, what was the other one? Oh, their primary motivations, and then their technical savvy. Okay, so, and then also include a picture, Now you want at least three personas, and in those personas, well, at least two, but you want them to be really, really diverse. Okay, so in other words, you've got right here, you've got, give what they do. What do they have kids? Are they married? What do they do for a living? Right now, I'd say you have a 25-year-old female college student and a 30-year-old fitness enthusiast. I would try to give a little bit more diversity there in the personas. Now, in the personas, once you develop the personas, you want to go into a scenario. So the scenario page should follow the persona page. The scenario you're going to describe, this is good, good scenario page. So you describe exactly what's going on and how the app will help. Then you jump into the competitors page. The competitors page, I would be much more detailed here. Show good evidence that you've really gone out and researched the competition. Let me show you a good competitive page, competitive analysis page. Here's a competitive analysis, comparative analysis, competitive analysis. So basically what you have is you're showing the interface, okay, and you want to do three things. You want to give the pros and the cons for functionality and features, visual design, and usability. Okay, so each of the competition should have its own page and go through, again, the pros and cons for functionality and features, visual design, and usability. This is a very, very, very important page. And then you can also show the interface associated with that particular app so that you showing evidence that you actually did analyze the usability as well as the visual design of the app. Okay, so then we go into our wireframes. So we have complete wireframes of all. Now, the wireframe should be paper sketches, so these are good, but they should be labeled perfectly. Everything should be labeled here. These should be an exact rendering of what the actual screen looks like, because you're going to use the paper prototypes for these little wireframes for your the wireframe sketches for your usability testing. So these are going to end up being your paper prototypes, right? They've got to be completely detailed because you're going to show all screens. So you have to show every button in its function in order to be able to use it for a test. So in other words, if you show this to a test subject and say, okay, where would you click to log in? They don't know because nothing is labeled, right? So so you have wireframes and we end there. So what I would do is this. I would say from here, this is what we need. Let me jump this over here. So we have wireframes. So you have wireframe sketches. Now, you need sketches of all your screens here for the wireframes, all of the screens. So because you're going to use those for your testing. Okay, then we need digital wireframes of all the screens. All right, and then we also need digital mock-ups of all the screens. These are digital mock-ups. There's more digital mock-ups over here. These are digital mockups. That's what we need to see. Digital mockups for all screens. Then we need a summary of tasks for usability testing. And let me show you what that looks like. That looks like this. This is basically a script of questions that you ask each of your test subjects. Identical questions, so you're comparing apples to apples. All right, so take a look at this page 52 on the greenhouse example. That's available in week 2. And I also want to mention that at this point that it's very, very important that you take a look at those examples that I've posted in the announcements area for a really great look and some great ideas on how to assemble your work. Okay, so a summary of tasks for usability testing. Now you need to do your test session. You need to take pictures of the actual person clicking where you ask them to click. Okay, so that's not shown in this particular greenhouse example, but it is shown in some of the examples that I have posted in the course announcements. So be sure to see that. Okay, so then after you show pictures of all of your paper prototypes, then show pictures of the testing sessions. Then you'll need a written analysis page summarizing the results of the testing session. Okay, as I said, we need digital mock-ups of all screen. And then we need a final, well, we need the final click-through. That's different, but that's a little different. But then you need the project summary. I would like you to include your click-through prototype or a link to the click-through prototype right in your final process book too. Project summary page, including, and then your bibliography page, including research and image sources. Okay, so again, it's really, really important that you get over and take a look at some of those examples in the course announcements. So a little bit underdeveloped at this point. We still have a lot of work to do. So at this point, just let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. But like I said, I think we're a little underdeveloped here right now. There's no user testing shown here, so that's pretty important stuff. Okay, all right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.